So it's the weekend before my long backpacking trip into French Canyon, and I've got all my gear out, and I'm just sort of going through it and weighing it and trying to decide what I want to take with me. You can see I'm even weighing the difference between the two primary knives that I was considering, the Dark Timber Honey Badger and the Dark Timber Comanche, and it turns out that my Comanche setup is an ounce lighter than my Honey Badger setup, so the Comanche setup gets the nod. I've got all my gear laid out in preparation for my 2021 trip into French Canyon. I'll be carrying my Osprey Exos 58. One of the things about this pack is I've always got a secondary knife on it. I've got my Leatherman Skeletool. I've always got a compass. In addition, got my inhaler already packed. I can be prone to asthma from trail dust, so that comes in handy. Got my big Agnes UL1 tent. I've got my Marmot rain jacket. Got my Western Mountaineering down jacket. The fill to weight ratio was the lightest of any similar jacket available, so that's why I picked that up. Got my outdoor Crocs, which I use in place of wading boots. Got my REI PQL trekking poles, my fly rod. I've actually got 2 rods with me this trip. I'll be out for 8 days. If one breaks, I will have an extra. Got my bug netting because it's July. Sims ultralight waders. In here, I've got my sleeping kit. I've got a heavy polypropylene shirt. I've got a pack pillow, silk leggings, a silk shirt, polypropylene cap, and a pair of wool socks to sleep in should it get cold. These socks are thinner than what I normally carry. I am trying to shave a little weight where I can. These are the clothes that I'm bringing. I typically bring one set of clothes during the day, one set of clothes for the night. The nighttime clothes can double as day wear if it gets cold and I need to layer up. So I've got my cool cap. I've got a pair of Icebreaker gloves. I'm bringing these heavier gloves this time around because I'm going to be at close to 12,000 feet, and I'm understanding right now that it's been quite cold up there, so I'm bringing that. I've got this old REI soft shell jacket, some Icebreaker wool socks, a buff, a lightweight Icebreaker wool shirt, and then these really old Exofficio pants. When I'm hiking, I'll be wearing a pair of these ankle braces. I don't wear boots. I always wear trail running shoes, and so the ankle braces just give me a little bit extra support. Got this pair of silk socks. I'll double this up with my wool socks, use this as a lining, and that will help me prevent any chafing and blisters. Got my REI Trail First Aid. I've got my SAM splint, which I may or may not take with me depending on what this loadout, how much this loadout weighs. Right now I'm thinking it's probably going to weigh around 30 pounds. And if it's 30 pounds or less, I'll probably bring the SAM splint. If it's more than that, then I'll probably leave it at home. I've got my Therm-a-Rest sleeping pad, my REI sleeping bag. I've got this titanium mug, and I don't cook in the backcountry, so I'll use this for my cereal. I'll use it for drinking water and drinking protein. Toothbrush, toothpaste, plastic spork. Got my maps. I print my maps on waterproof paper, so I don't need to worry about that. I've got my permit and I got my wilderness permit, and I've got my my campfire permit in a plastic bag. I keep my campfire permit in my pack year-round. Most of the wilderness areas that I hike in, if you have a backcountry permit, you don't need the campfire permit. But there are some wilderness areas that I go to where you actually don't need a permit to backpack. You just go straight in, and so you do need a fire permit in that case if you're going to make a fire. I've got this bag here, which has all of my clean clothes for after my trip. So I bring a clean pair of shorts, underwear, socks, a shirt. I'll be carrying my water in this Hydro Pack bladder. It's already got about 5 scoops of Tailwind nutrition in it. Typically what I'll do is I'll drink Tailwind on the hike in. So my first days are usually a big day. I'll drink Tailwind on the hike in, and I'll typically drink Tailwind on the hike out. I've got some KT tape in case I should need it. I've got my Dark Timber Comanche, my Mid-Tech Dark Timber Comanche, with my Positive Made Leathercraft sheath and some Survivor cord and a ferro rod. I've got this Platypus 1 liter bottle. When I get to camp, I'll fill this with water, and this will be my water source while I'm at camp. Got some earplugs in case it gets loud or it's stormy or it's windy. Got my Spot. Got some hand sanitizer. I use that to try to stay clean. Got an MSR water filter. I've got toilet paper with an extra roll and a lighter. I've also keep a bag inside this bag, so depending on whether I'm going to pack out my toilet paper or I'm going to burn it, this I can do either one with this. So I've got this MSR camp towel, got a trowel, extra pair of batteries for my Spot should I need it. Got all my GoPro equipment in here. I've got 2 rechargeable batteries here. I've been, since I've been filming at 4K, my GoPro goes through the batteries extremely quickly. So this is a little heavy, but hopefully it'll be enough to get me through the week. As I said, I'm doubling up on some of the gear. So I've got my Hardy Featherweight reel with an extra spool. I've got a new line on this year. I've got the Rio single-handed spay line. I went into a fly shop and I said, hey, I haven't looked at lines in probably a decade. Can you recommend a good roll casting line for me? And that's what he recommended. It's a little interesting in that you can see that it's pink, which is not that unusual for a fly line, but it's pink and then it transitions into an olive color, and it's the pink color that's the fishing end. So that kind of surprises me. I would have thought that the running line would have been the pink color and the fishing end would have been the olive because it's more stealthy, but that's not the case. Got my Petzl now. This is my fishing gear. So I've got this JW Outfitters Flybox holder. With this, what do they call it? C&F Design Flybox. And I've got the one with multiple leaves. So I basically, and these are really cool because they're interchangeable. I can actually pop this out and put in a new leaf. So these are my standard impressionistic nymphs. These are all of my lake nymphs, or streamers if you want to call them that. My dry flies, and I need to tie a few of these caddis cripples before I go. And then my lake dry flies here. And as you can see, I've got a lot of ant patterns. In this box, I also carry leaders. I've got some beads. Annie Pouillons once told me that you can make any nymph a beadhead nymph just by sliding a bead onto the leader and over top of the eye of the hook. That's what I do just in case I need some extra weight. I also carry 2 spools. Now, right now I'm fishing 5X and 4X. My setup's going to be a 7.5 foot 4X leader with 18 to 24 inches of 5X and then I'll have a point fly and then a dropper tied off at the bend of the hook for that point fly. I've got the C&F Design fly holder, which is pretty cool. Got some fly floatant. Got some of these Kenai gloves, which they're getting a little thin. I should probably replace them. But anyway, these are polypropylene, and I've got some liners for that because, as I said, they're getting a little thin. Probably my most important piece of fishing gear, which is my polarized sunglasses. These are prescription polarized lenses. Got an extra set of 4X and 5X Tippet. And I've got probably the most useless piece of gear that I'm carrying, and that is this Pickardin-based mosquito repellent. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that even though it says 8 or 12 hours, it really only works for about an hour. But an hour is better than nothing. That's it. That's my loadout for 2021. So my pack as it stands right now, with my fly rod, without my bear canister, is 21.6 pounds. So it looks like I'll be going in with about 32 pounds, which is great. I've been carrying my pack over the last couple of weeks. I've been carrying about a 46-pound pack. So hopefully I can carry all of this on my back. This will be the first time that I've carried basically anything, any significant load on my back since 2018 when I was bedridden. So hopefully all goes well, and have a great trip. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.